Well, the president's recent comments are affecting opinions in the UK. Simon Bates sets the scene for this week's London Calling.
If the Labour Party actually really cared about burning injustices...
Here in Britain, our government is going through a painful rebirth. And if all the polls and predictions are correct, then next week, this man, Boris Johnson, will be our new Prime Minister. He's promised to make an early trip to Washington to bond with your president and to sow the seeds for a new trade deal between our two countries. Boris has pledged to take Britain out of the European Union, come what may, by the end of October, even if we haven't arranged a withdrawal deal by then. This could lead to chaos at our borders, with lines at the ports and shortages of medicines and agricultural products. In this case, we might very well need the USA to help us out in a sort of mini rerun of the Marshall Plan. But in the era of President Trump, many people on this side of the pond are now questioning whether we could really rely on him at a time of national crisis. Although our countries are meant to be the closest of allies, last week President Trump insulted our ambassador in Washington in such personal and undiplomatic terms that he was forced to resign. The ambassador's crime was to report back to London on the Trump administration as he saw it. Those reports leaked and the president turned on him. So to many of us, it seems a little strange that we should be about to turn our backs on our closest European neighbours and throw all our eggs into one basket. That basket held by President Donald Trump. Which brings us to this week's events in your country. The president's fight with those 4 congresswomen of colour. The things that he said about them have reverberated across the Atlantic, so here's a thought that must surely be going through Boris Johnson's mind as he prepares for power. If President Trump behaves that way towards his own countrymen, what's he going to do to us? That's London Calling for today. This is Simon Bates for CBS News in London.